Hello and welcome back to Dr. Logic Awkwardly Does Logic, cozily with a cup of tea. In the previous couple of videos, we've been introducing the semantics for predicate logic, methods for determining truth and falsity of formulas, and gone through some examples. Now, one thing about our examples is that they have all involved finite domains. I've been able to write down what is in the set of objects that we are interested in. We can have infinite domains, but suddenly truth becomes a lot more difficult. Suppose I tell you that we have a domain which is all natural numbers. And now I want you to evaluate the sentence, every number is either even or odd. So that would be formalized with the universal quantifier, and the universal quantifier would tell you that you need to check that this sentence is true for every single x variant. That means the variant that assigns x to 0, the variant that assigns x to 1, the variant that assigns x to 2, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And at some point, you might be sitting there thinking, Dr. Logic, why are you asking me to do an impossible task? Because unless you have an infinite amount of time, which I'm pretty sure none of us have, you're never going to be able to go through all of the different possible x variants that you would need to in order to determine whether the sentence is true. So, okay, this is kind of a basic fact about human limitations. It's not necessarily a problem with logic, it's a problem with logicians. But it doesn't really matter that this is a problem for logicians because we have a method of establishing the truth of universal claims, even on infinite domains, that doesn't involve having to look through every single object in the domain individually. Proof theory! Jazz hands. Jazz hand, because the other one's still holding the tea. That's what we're going to start talking about next. Just as we had proof theory that matched up with the semantics of propositional logic, we will have proof theory that matches up with the semantics of predicate logic. In fact, it's just going to be an extension of the proof theory that we've already done. All of the propositional connectives, the rules for them are going to be exactly the same. So I just need to give you new rules that cover the new connectives, the new information that we have in our extended language. So rules for quantifiers, both the universal and the existential, both introduction and elimination, and also rules for identity. We haven't talked about identity so much, but it kind of comes with its own governing principles. And we will express these principles in rules, and we will I will tell you more about the rules for identity when we get to them. I won't try to say anything more about them here. So what this will allow us to do, and this is kind of the really amazing part about proofs in predicate logic, every proof is going to be, just like in propositional logic, a finite list of formulas. And yet it's going to allow us to be able to prove things about infinite domains. It's pretty amazing. So this is why you always want to kind of have both sides of the story. You want to have the semantics that tell you when are things true, when are things valid. The definition of validity is going to be exactly the same as we had in the propositional case. All of the premises are true, then the conclusion must be true. Set that aside. But proof theory allows us to establish otherwise very complicated to evaluate formulas, things that would potentially involve looking at infinitely many different possibilities in a finite fashion. So I hope you guys are looking forward to doing more proofs, more puzzles, more tricks of the trade that you will get to have, because that's what we're going to start in the next series of videos. So have a couple of overview, introduction, reminder of definition videos, and then I will get to the point where we learn the new rules for the quantifiers and for identity. So hope you're excited. Take care and see you then.